And I guess we're back for part two. I think we got everything situated. Again, apologies to everyone who views TDN TV or Islands Therapy, Support Islands Therapy or Dissect. And yeah, we got the man Ra in the building. We're not gonna do the introduction anymore. Bring everybody back onto the screen and let's continue where we left off. So let's go. Right, we good?
Yes, so we
Okay.
better be good.
Yeah, all right.
For good night's sake. Yeah,
All right.
All right. So
Directly live, live and direct. Loving it,
yeah, man.
loving it. We're
all
back
right.
on
So
roads.
at this point, I would like to ask everybody to go ahead and share the live. We have lost quite amount of viewers, so please go ahead and share the live. And yeah. So right, you were saying you were taking in the show last week.
Yeah, I was taking in the show last week of Morris and stuff like that, which was really I brought back a lot of memories and stuff like that. I mean, yeah,
Right.
and I think Morris is one of the real honest guys. I mean that he bring out the vibes as it is, and he wasn't sugarcoating nothing.
Right.
I think that was very important to to keep it real. You check
Right.
me, keep it real. The
Right.
sugarcoat nothing, and of course, you don't want to be bringing down anybody, and like a tug of war and fight down and stuff like that. But no, it has certain vibes that have to come out real. Yeah, and I
Right.
think he's one of those guys to me that hit it like that. I unfortunately I wasn't able to see the one with Ulson and Daly. But
Okay.
I'd really like to hear them, live and thing there, giving
Well,
their vibes, But yeah,
well,
To be
Urson and
honest,
Deli had some good things to say.
yeah,
They spoke about their teachings, I guess, their lessons, starting from RSB to you in raw rhythm, and all the way up to where they are right now, right? So um I wasn't going to touch on this, but I just happen to have this in my hand for some reason. And
Don't
that's the
forget,
original,
don't forget
not
my
sorry.
spectacles. Hope to see that.
Okay, that's the two show two flam
Oh,
serial,
that one there. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. All right.
And
Yeah,
just to touch on it, I was actually just reading through the credits,
yeah, yeah.
and I do see Morris' name in the credits. So
Oh, yeah. Mm.
um but you said something important, and which I wanted to touch on. Like, how does it make you feel when you hear people, and not Morris in particular, but just people in general, that would come and bash, the music, the bouillon music, or even bash the island? How does that make you feel, being like, an originator of bouillon music?
Well, we have two different issues there. We have the Boya music and the island. The island in itself, I mean, the island is the island. The people on the island is a different thing.
Right.
Um, when it comes to the music and the bashing the music, I don't know. Everybody have their vibe, and they have their reason for saying whatever they say. But no, knowing that the music come from DA and is a DA product, I think they should big it up. They should give it some strength and stuff like that instead of like trying to bring it down.
Right.
Uh, they have their rights, of course, to talk about the music, meaning the compositions and stuff like that, and the lyrical content. But
Hmm.
now certain things happen for certain reasons, you know. And I guess maybe they're talking about maybe bands like maybe Triple K and stuff like that, their
Right.
lyrical content.
Right.
And I wouldn't really in particular want to bring down those guys. Why? Because they come in at a kind of a crucial time
Hmm.
where the present members of W.C.K that was supposed to be like pushing the vibe, to
Right.
me them and I turn their back on the whole scene. You check?
Right.
And they were imitating other things. And I mean that wasn't the whole intention of the band,
Right.
because really and truly when the band started, it started sung in almost like Flames and sung in almost like Jam Band and sung in
Right.
almost like all the rest of those bands from the Leeward Islands. And me personally, I find I didn't really like that. I wasn't really a fan of that vibe, you know.
Right. So
Meaning
you
that
wanted your own
I do
sound.
like to copy. I like to be original. You
Right, of
check?
course.
And when that happened, I decided, boy, you know, we have so much different rhythms in the place. We had the Bele, we had the Lapokabwit, we had the Jingping and all those kind of things there.
Right.
Why not use those kind of rhythms instead of being a copycat?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's where the idea come in with we didn't give it the name at the time, but there's where the idea came in to really do us instead of doing other people. Because as I tell you already, I really do like to song like other people. I want to
Right.
song, I want to song like me. You
Of
know,
course.
because to me, a mark of a true musician is being original. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you can song like James Brown, you can song like this one, you can song like whoever, but now when you do yourself, I think that's what the world does really appreciate you for, and that's what the world really appreciate the band for,
Right.
because it come up with something different, something original, something they didn't already hear about. For instance, when you sample the conch shell and stuff like that, it
Mm-hmm.
mash up the whole place because now the conch shell was never sampled. And I mean, the conch shell not only unique to us. I mean, you have the whole Caribbean. You could talk about Haiti. You could talk about whoever,
Grenada.
Grenada. You could talk about Saint Lucia. You know,
Right.
because we all of us come from the old African origin,
Mm-hmm.
and we know about the conch shell. You know,
Right.
because I remember Mr. Desiree is a Haitian. You know, he was doing sculpture and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and he did a piece with the guy kneeling and blowing the conch shell. So I knew, well, you know, that wasn't like only us. So that means that's a whole African kind of a vibe.
Right.
And remember the journey that we make,
Right.
you know, that we made, you know, from Africa to the Caribbean and stuff like that. And some of us we kept the culture, and that's the whole vibe, you know. So that
Mm-hmm.
was one of my whole thing about doing and creating booyah music, because we have so much original rhythms and stuff like that. And when you hear the rhythm, you listen to Afrobeats now, and you're in, you know, some of what we'll do, some of the accents that we do. So that means that the whole thing traveling first, you know, from all the way from Africa, you know, and we're very
Right.
fortunate. It's only now if you know that DA on a whole like really opening kind of internationally, you know,
Right.
all the time you know that we were like more or less in ourselves, you know, one two people used to visit DA, but DA
Mm-hmm.
was like one of the best kept secret. You know,
Right.
we go different places, you know, but when we come back home, you know, we know that's our little secret spot, you know.
Right.
We have our rivers, we have our thing and stuff like that. We wasn't really caring too much about tourism. You check?
Right.
But now we see the vibe now, we open up now to tourism, and you're seeing what's happening right now. You
Right.
know, but so basically on the area of our culture and our rhythm and stuff like that. So that's how the whole vibe came up, you know,
Right.
the whole, you know, booyah kind of thing. But of course, as you know, from youth, I playing from 2 years old, and
Right. Right.
and stuff like that. So I like a lot of drums. I like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of drums and percussions. Of course, you know, keyboard following on the piano, fall,
Yeah.
you know, under the percussion section, you know.
Right.
So I had that kind of a knack for that vibe, you know. So, you know, so days where it really start, you know. Of course, I
Right.
did Harambe in my early days, you know, like when I was like 7, perform with Harambe, you know, my
Uh,
performance is, you know, start from since then, you know.
so
Nice.
Arambe would be what, a band or a
No,
group?
Harambe was basically it was a theater group led by Natalie Charles, you know, Nats, we call her Sister Nats.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
he was
Okay.
studying in Canada,
Mm.
right you all are, in Canada you all be, right?
Yeah. Right.
Right, in Canada, she was studying in the university in Canada together with people like Ruzi and stuff like that. And you know the whole long story of that, and she get deported
Right.
and all that
Right.
kind of a story, which we do wasn't really so happy about because she was in the Black Power movement, you
Okay.
know.
So that was it
And
over in
yeah,
Montreal.
so when she came down, she formed that group.
Right.
So I was in that group from since I was like maybe over like 7, you
Right.
know, and we performed um, um, performance poetry and stuff like that. Something like what Rasmo do and Wash them man there. So years ago from
Okay.
Salik Youth, we've been doing that with drums and percussions, and make it further again there. My brother and myself, we formed a group called the Group I. We were doing the same kind of a thing like drums and percussions and voices. So
Mm-hmm.
we did that. So I had that vibe from since when. So people like Ras Algie, Rasmo passing that,
Right.
people like Rosman Lander, Isila Ufa, Greg's, Albert Williams, Peter Fingal,
Mm-hmm.
Tony White. We had quite a few members in there. Of course, we had the Tula brothers and all, and his brother. Yeah, they were in there. Yeah.
Okay. So
So yeah, we did that kind of a style there. So the chanting and thing was always in us, because that's what we used to do when you're R&B from chanting. We used to chant.
so that's what I was going to. That explains why we like that explains the chanting in the booyah when we started hearing it.
Yeah, well, the chanting, I had the idea, but I really call upon like Skinny and stuff like that. I didn't know, I wasn't even aware that Skinny was in a group called Clockers at the time.
Right.
I didn't know they were called Clockers at the time, but now,
Yeah, I think Novelist
um,
was in that group also, I think.
yes, of
My
course,
Yeah.
memory
that's why I
serves me
get on.
correct.
Yeah, Novelist was in there. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, it wasn't like Skinny I was gonna use to do that. I was gonna use some other guys to do that. But now them guys were really youth. So you must know. I don't know if you know Vet and those guys. There's a few of them, Vet and
No.
a few of them. I can't remember. Yeah, the man was
No.
from Kinfield area.
Okay.
Yeah, the man was from Kinfield area. I see
And
one or two of them here now and then. And that chick for the guy with the Charles Pharmacy. He had a daughter, and she came to me. She told me, "Well, we have some guys that they can rap and stuff like that. I wanted to bring them in the vibes and stuff." So I said, "Well, no problem." So I
right.
listened to them. I see, well, some are doing rap, some are doing like hip hop kind of R&B kind of vibes. I say, well, fine, because no, this could work. But no,
Right.
they were like youths at the time, 12 years, 14 years. But
Okay.
still was a
Okay.
bigger guy.
Right.
And we used to be doing things like good times and stuff like that.
Right.
Skinny was right there. So we just used to pass the mic for Skinny, because that's the time now when we did the whole session for the night,
Right.
talking about W.C.K, right? Don't to
Mhm.
talk about it too much because it bring all kind of feelings. We do our whole session. Sometimes we start about like 11 o'clock and we finish about 5 o'clock a morning time.
right.
So when
Okay.
we finish about like 4:30, 5 o'clock, then we
Mhm.
do a different session. A session now with the Bassy, guys Keith,
Yeah.
Morris running the machines, and I doing the drums and stuff like that. And we
Right.
run the session. We do another session for another 3 hours straight. Then we
Mhm.
call different man to come and do different chat. It had
Right.
Humpty, Skinny would come. It had quite a few different guys.
Okay.
So when we decided we wanted to put that vibe inside of there,
Mhm.
then Skinny was the one that we decided we wanted to bring in. But
Right.
apart from that, I know Skinny mother, and she had asked me, boy, bring Skinny in the vibes, and so I say, well, I was not aware Skinny was your son.
Right.
She
Mhm.
tell me bring Wayne. I say, well, who's Wayne? She tell me my son. I say, well, Skinny is your Skinny is your son. She tell me, yeah. I say, well, no problem, man, because I knew Angel from long time.
right.
We
Yeah.
decided to bring Skinny in the scene and stuff like that. Not being
Yeah.
aware that he had a crew with
Right.
Novelist, Junglist, Sky,
Yeah.
Yeah. And you actually say that in a
yeah, but of course,
you say that
I
in a
find
song.
those something
You,
freaking to me.
you,
So
you know the funny you know the
yeah,
funny thing you know the
I
funny
like
thing
I
about
like
that.
I like spontaneous, I like vibes and stuff like that. So
But
Right.
you know
I,
what?
I,
You know
I
what's
bring it
fun?
up one time.
You know what's funny about what the novelist junglist thing, Raf, for me?
Yeah,
Um, well, in Canada, where I grew up at the time when that song came out, the ghetto they used to call it jungle.
yeah,
So anytime we leave, the jungle area and we go anywhere else in Toronto, they actually, yo, where you from? You say, junglist. So it's funny when you actually say that in the song, novelist, junglist. I check in, oh, the heck ran away from jungle.
You see, what
But
happens is that you see when Jah puts certain vibes inside of you, you check me. Certain things just come out naturally because just like what Morris was talking last week, you see what Rai used to be singing certain thing and he saw certain people that they didn't know, but now it used to come out so natural. I don't have to break my head to make a song.
Right.
So your environment was
to
your
make
influence.
a song, I get in a problem. I
Right.
suppose you just flow, you know, and
Of
that's
course.
why Morris could just find, well, it's so easy to work with me, and I
Right.
find it so easy to work with him because now we had that kind of a, I don't know as the word synergy or all kind of a fancy word and the terminology. So basically that was the vibe,
Mm-hmm.
and of course it had certain things, and when I see it, it will bring things from my youth time,
Right.
and I just bring it out, it's like too many cooks will spoil the soup and too many cooks will spoil the bouillon,
Yeah.
me mete sel, me mete zoyo, me mete funiti, my buy pima. Take me to a real thing like that, so like it's like a automatic,
Right.
Life experiences.
Yeah, man, it's automatic. And my queen loved to sing and my queen loved to party and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
She sang a lot of Protestants songs, she was of the of Catholic, we go Catholic
Oh,
stuff,
okay.
but no, she went to all the Protestants churches,
Right.
Pentecostal and all that, and she'd come with all those kind of songs, and I used to be fascinated about them,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what a friend we have with Jesus and all kind of a thing. Like Bible, yeah. And she would have let it go, singing it out while she cleaning her fish and sharpening a knife and
Right.
with it and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Yes,
But
yeah.
but even those like you're talking about that experience, and even those showed up in some of your songs as well.
No,
Because
real thing. That's why I tell you I never break my head to make a song. Anytime I break in my head to
right.
make a song, Sapa Vuya, Sasi, I just
So
making it up,
yeah.
But again, no, from the culture area and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the Jinping and stuff like that and the quadrille, I'm always pick that up from my people and them from the countryside, which is River City Grand Four area.
Right.
And they used to be doing the quadrille,
Okay.
and of course they'll be doing that during Independence time. It was Independence at the time. It was
Right,
statehood. It was National Day, Statehood Day and all that kind of a thing. But they would come down and, they always had that competition around November time.
Mm-hmm.
And they would come down and they would always emerge number one, So I used to follow them wrong, because when they come down to town, coming from the countryside, they would always be dressing by us. The men, we had 2 houses in River Street, where I come from, where I born.
Okay.
And some of the ladies would be dressing, Lower River Street where we had the bakery, and the men would be dressing up Upper River Street, where my queen used to be pulling up and stuff like that, So I followed them around. They were from since I was youth, and of course I frequently went to the country, and live the life,
Right.
when we had Bullseye, I don't know if anybody know Bullseye,
Yeah, I don't know if Iman know what a bullseye is. Nika may not know what a bullseye
I
is.
know what
You know what a bullseye is, Iman? Okay.
we're talking about 2 different bullseye and we live. So instead of me making a fool of myself, I just say no.
No, we're only talking about one bullseye.
No,
Well, is
we're
that
talking
bullseye?
about bull's eye,
Yeah.
We're talking about bull's eye. We're talking about bull's eye.
Yeah.
Well, bullseye is
Yes,
a thing. It's like a lamp,
Yeah.
kind of a lamp or a light, right?
Bottle,
Yes,
So what
kerosene,
you do now,
cloth
you
and
put,
thing.
you make a wick and you throw it down the bottle. But before you put the wick in, you put kerosene in.
Right.
Yes,
right?
Right.
So now, and then you light it, because the
Right.
countryside didn't have any lights, so
Light,
it's
okay.
with a glass bottle. Then you put the wick in and you light it and stuff like that. So every time you see like it's gonna go down, it's gonna go out, you tip in the kerosene back
Yeah.
up so it could get back up. So
Right.
that's why we grow up and listening to all the songs in the country, crick, crick, crack, 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 crick, crick, and then River City was the place I was going first. Then after I start to go to Granford when I get a little older and get to know the stories of the team and all them kind of a thing. So that brings the story into life. You know what I mean? That
Right.
brings the
Yes,
story
sir.
together. You know, with how I come with the team and the l'histoire talking about Lua and
Mhm.
Tija and Cope Lape and Cope Tig and
Right.
all the rest of them guys. You
Mhm.
know, so that make the vibe roll. You know, yeah.
Hmm. That's foundation. Those are the things that the kids of today they don't get that. And if they do get a little bit of Jinping or whatever they like, the stuff you're talking about, they don't like. I don't see that anymore. The Tim Boasek and those type of things. You
Well,
know.
the thing is, you know, the generation, you know, changing and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
of
So that's
course,
what
of course.
Booyah music's supposed to represent, to bridge the generation gap, so
Right.
we can pass on the culture, you know, to
Hmm.
the next generation. You know, it's like
Right.
passing the torch or
Yeah.
passing bullseye or passing whatever you may want to call it. But basically, that is the vibe that we're looking for, you know, because if we stop that, what is going to happen is that no, we're going to just, the culture is just going to die off
Right.
because it's going to have any continuity. It going to have the thing where you're passing on to one another. That's how we were successful because our great grandparents, you know, our parents, and maybe our extended family, because that's why I grew up with in the yard I was with, extended family,
Right.
cousins, auntie, grandmother, great grandmother, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And our ancestors, you know, that travel from so far to come down with the culture. That's why we still are the belly.
Hmm.
If they didn't move with it, then we would have a major problem.
True.
And the other thing is that now the youths and them seem to stand to suffer. Why? Because they do realize recognize and respect the elders. They tell you come out there you old, but you know, I have a message for them, you know. That the kiko kwansa mi tiko shon ma de mama go shon. Mama kuma fe jello long kosa mama ladi tanto tanto. You check? So the
Right.
thing is now from the time you're born, really, nobody asks you how young you are. They always ask you how
How
old are
old
you.
you are? Yep.
So that
Mhm,
means
mhm,
no, you're old from the time you're born, you're old. You
mhm.
check? So now, you know, we have to start to respect one another,
Right.
support one another, strengthen one another, you know, respect one another, you know,
Hmm.
and let's rise up. You know, the way we're
Uplift, you
supposed
know.
to rise up, you know, because we talk about unity, unity, unity. But
Right.
no, I read how many places and they say people stop listen to what people say and watch what they do, you know,
True,
because they say action
Yep.
expensive but talk cheap.
Yeah.
So
true.
that's the kind of a vibe, you know,
Right.
we into, you know, we need to have the vibes in a positive way to uplift and to strengthen. That's how we do it, you know. We
Right.
really have to support one another and strengthen one another. Real, you know, that's how
Hmm.
we do it.
So, Ra, usually we go on till 8 o'clock, which is this 8:02 right now. It's 9:02 your time. I'm not sure if you have more time that we could, to sit down and talk with us, or if you have other engagements.
And no, well, the thing is, my engagement is right there because when it comes to engaging,
Right.
you know, I use the opportunity, and if there's any message that I need to send across, or people willing to, you know, learn, you know,
Right.
I have the time because I set the time to do it, and I'm gonna
Okay.
refuse, you know, to disseminate the information because it's important, you know. I don't
Yeah.
know who's listening, who's not listening,
Right.
but you know, even though I have one person listening, that's good, you know,
Of course.
because you know, if you could change one person's life by the things that you do, I mean, that's a lot.
Right.
You know, I mean, if you could change a million people, very good. But
Right.
you know, as they say, when the week fair sack the way, yeah. So
you, you, you,
one
see-
cocoa full of basket.
you see that Ken film man there, you might be confusing him with the patois, so.
No, he's not confusing me, you know, folks. I am doing great.
You right there, man. Don't be
I'm
afraid, man.
doing great, you
Don't
know.
think, you know, but for the people and them along understanding the Creole and stuff like that, we just drop in like a Creole now and then to mix it up, not to flavor it up, because that's why we do bouillon is about Creole, English,
Everything.
Spanish,
French, Spanish.
to bagay.
Right.
Everything like a mix, It's just like the music in itself,
Yeah.
And the food, the bouillon,
Of course.
is a potpourri. Anything I can mix with it. That won't spoil the formula. That won't make it taste bad, yeah?
Yeah.
Because someone putting thing in the bouillon now and tasting bad. So, things like that happening. So, it's just that we, and we're not talking nobody because everybody trying, sometimes
Of course.
you go cooking and stuff like that and you make a bad mix.
Right.
So sometimes you just have to throw the mix, wash up the pot.
Try again.
Yeah.
Cook. Yeah.
So that is how it is, So, we there working.
All right.
Yeah,
So
like
seeing
what
that
you said.
we have a little more time, let's go into some I want to talk raw rhythm. I want to go to 2000. Seeing that you you were in WCK, established, you guys are doing everything, and then you had to merge with your competition, meaning Mr. Roy.
That wasn't
How was
competition. That
that?
was competition.
What? Of course, that was competition.
Roy was competition.
WCK, Serenade. That's competition. So for you and you and Roy coming together, first of all, how did that happen, and how was that experience?
Well, the experience was something
Memorable.
different. Well, memorable too. Thanks for helping me out there. But I think it was great because now that gave an opportunity to bring in new musicians in the game
Right.
and to expand the whole Booyah empire. So to me, it was a good experience. And the other thing is knowing that those two bands were in that rivalry kind of a thing. You had W.C.K on one end, you had Serenade on the other end,
Right.
and you had the two lead vocalists from the both groups, coming together to form that with a set of new and not so new musicians. Yeah.
Right. Right.
So the vibe was really nice because now the sound catch everybody one time.
Yes. Yes.
The whole impact of the band catch everybody one time. It was nothing but the band trying to make itself. As soon as that happened, everybody was there.
Yeah.
Yes, they done with that vibe.
Yeah.
Into that, and you know the whole history behind that. You know what happened to those guys during the carnival time when the band come out. That was
and you know what was special about that year is where the band came from. It wasn't just the band on the road. It's where the band came from.
That one was a different part of the whole thing, and it wasn't really planned. It just happened to fall in place. Where all bands were coming from the north. Coming from the port to coming town.
Yep.
For the Juve. We came from the south.
From
opposite direction.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and roll into town.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I shiver in all those as I seen that.
I shiver in
that was like skinning a cat.
Because let me tell you,
trust me, it wasn't easy.
Montego Bay was empty and full in a minute.
We done the Juve. When we do that, we done the Juve, we could just walk around and see, the leftovers.
Right.
That's what happened. Sure. Yeah. I didn't really feel no way, about that happening because it's the way the whole vibe ended up happening. It wasn't really a nice vibe, and the effects of that are still felt.
Right.
Because the things that were said and the things that were done and the it's really terrible. I really wouldn't want to even start it now. It really wasn't a good feeling. The effects are still felt right now because I think it's a bad thing for one to dirty a person's image, and say things that are purely untrue, about a certain individual. Even though you have bad times now, but remember the good times, and use the good to cover the bad. I think it was really terrible, and I really didn't appreciate it. I never really talk about it. People try to bring it up in interviews and stuff like that. I didn't really, care to talk about it and elaborate on it. But no, Ajmal was just a little thing, and Ajmal knows nothing about W.C.K in terms of like performance and so. My older son knows, but he didn't know nothing about that. Of RAH Riddim, because RAH Riddim only did like about like 4 to going to 5 years.
Right.
And he was still a little youth, so he didn't really,
get that experience.
Understand the vibe, So certain times I tell him certain things, I like, because even certain rhythms I show him, and so I tell him about certain rhythm pattern and stuff. But like, so I say, listen, Dre, you're talking to,
Been there, done that.
I know what I do, I know what I do. I don't want to be haughty, I want to be boastful, but I know what I do, so that's how it's supposed to be done.
Right.
Like me, if fellows doing it like that, it's like they copying a mistake. It's like a man make a mistake and they copying a mistake. I tell him no, that's the way it have to go, and it have other stuff that I didn't really bring to the whole because no, I didn't have the time, or some people wasn't really ready to receive the vibe, so it's like that, But really and truly, with RAH Riddim, when RAH Riddim come, that was like trust me, whoa. And the last year of RAH Riddim on the road, that was something, man.
Yes.
I don't know if somebody could give me the footage of that, but that was something. If I say it right now, and you're trying to picture it, I don't know. But if you see the footage, you'll understand exactly what we're talking about. If you know Rosso, that we,
so you mean mapping TV do have an archive where there are some aerial footage and see RAH Riddim.
That would be that's the
but I give it to somebody, I tell them to film it, but they didn't film it, But nobody know me already. I'm the guy, I'd be singing because if you watch in Bandwagon Train, some of the footage I filmed that because when we was in New York performing, I had the camcorder. I singing, but I filming because I don't want to miss that moment. And I don't think they had somebody there filming. So I was
yes.
I was like that video. So I did camcorder, they are filming that. So that's why Harry used some of the footage, what we had on Eastern Parkway, and what we had in the gig, the Saturday night gig for Labor Day, So, but it's just that I hope somebody could have that footage. But it is what really happened on the road. And fellas talking about crowd, but no, for you to have a crowd, when you take the corner coming up in Independent Street and people still down by Whitchurch.
Yes,
sir.
Still down by Whitchurch there.
Right.
That is something. That's a sight to behold.
That's
that year was really something else. Yeah.
That's the year RAH Riddim got Band of the Year, no?
I really can't remember now because we get so much blues before that there, but I see that no. That time I come out blazing out, That time we come out blazing out because we got some blues. A couple years before we tried to put the band on the road.
Yeah.
I don't know who put water in the diesel and whoa, that was terrible. I don't know who came up with that kind of a thing to do, but I think it was very terrible. We didn't mean no trouble. We didn't need to cause no kind of a harm to anybody. We just wanted to play. And police had to stop us and stuff like that. People pay for the band, they pay for the t-shirt, and diesel all about the place, and police had to pull us off. But I see the next year, trust me, much people didn't register for the band, but when we hit the road, that was it.
It was like everybody registered automatically.
It really looked like they re-register. So yeah, man. So that was the vibe right there, with RAH Riddim, man. And with Roy, they on the scene because Roy have his kind of a vibe and stuff like that. And it really worked out good.
Talk to us a little bit about that. Talk to us about transitioning from seeing him on the stage and knowing he either play before you or after you, right? And then you all actually coming together and mashing up a crowd now. What was that experience with you like?
I was calling it fire and ice. I was calling it a good combination like fire and ice. So it was like you know. Could imagine now, I remember when you do a session in the I can't remember who it was with. I don't know if it was Riddim or W.C.K. When it had a lot of mud in the park, and we say we're gonna make that mud turn into pussy, man. People were doing there, change that vibes, So that is what it was. So I mean, the experience was really nice,
Right.
But to me, the guy, I have no regrets. We still good bodies. We still all right. We hang
Right.
out. Anytime I go up SM, we hang out. When he come down, we hang out.
Right.
We vibes up and stuff like that. So I figured that's the way, it is. You haven't got to remain like, even though you split, you have differences, but no, you can't be angry and vexed with one another. And the
Right.
thing is, now, if somebody bringing something to the table, that's going to be something progressive for the whole, I think we should embrace it.
Right.
Yeah, I think we should embrace it. I don't think it should be, oh, me start bringing that. No, no, no. And in 5 minutes time, you have the same thing running with. I don't think that's a nice vibe. I don't
Right.
think that's a positive vibe. I don't
But
think we're talking about progress that way.
Right.
and well, with that happening, it definitely had progress because it not only did you have WCK, you had WCK, Raw Rhythm, First Serenade,
Yeah.
and other bands on
RSB.
the road.
We'll leave
RSB, Rough and
RSB out.
Ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rough and Ready.
Yeah, rough and ready,
Right.
yes.
Right.
So so that was and it was good to see it happen too at the time,
Yeah.
because even at that time we didn't have a lot of collabs in our music period, whether it was Boo or Kada, so we didn't have a lot of
Except for
collabs.
what?
So
PIK
And
was one of our biggest
collab
collabs.
comes too much
Right?
of a used word now. I mean, we've been doing collabs for a while and we're not even recognizing it. It's just like right now how the music industry is, and even DFC and all them thing, we were doing the work all the time,
right.
but we never had the name for it. For instance, we went out there as ambassadors or whatever you may want to call the band or the individuals, whatever, and go out there doing the work. Nobody recognize it and stuff like that, but the people outside recognize. But when you say nobody, meaning that the powers that be,
Right.
they never recognize what you're doing. For
Right.
instance, we'd go Labor Day, we'd go
Caravana.
they own Caribana.
Right.
We'd go London, you check.
Right. Northern Hill.
Notting Hill, and those for in the Caribbean. San Martin, as you know, was the Mecca.
Right. Even
St.
St.
Lucia,
Lucia. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
name it, we all about the place.
Right.
St. Croix, we all about the place.
Mhm.
And we'd be doing that, but no, we never get recognized. I mean, we use our personal funds to be doing the kind of ambassadorship for Dominica, if it have that word.
Yeah, that
Right.
seems to be on point. Yeah.
We did it there on our pockets. Right now, you have people being paid or whatever, or recognized, whatever, doing that. But no, we did it, and it's just for the love. And I mean, that's why we say Booyah music is. Booyah music is a patriotic music.
Right.
Right.
Of course.
Patriotic.
Right.
We do it with heart, because we love it. That's why, you see so many youths that's into Booyah music. Because we make sure that they are, it becomes them. It's part of them. It's them. It's their life. It's like Booyah life. It's Booyah culture. It's Booyah kitchen. It's Booyah tut bagay.
Something to call your own.
Yes, so now they fall in love with it, and it's the type of things that I did because I see the need for bringing people in, because you can't have a genre and you alone playing it.
Let me ask you. I hear you speak a lot about collaboration this evening, right? Hypothetically, for the fans watching live, if in the 90s, when you're on top of your game, is there a band that stood out to you? You would think back and say, I would have loved to do a collaboration with them at that time.
Well, I wouldn't even look at it as a band that stand out, Anybody I figure that could work, and I could work with, because I collab with RSB, maybe not with a song, but taking them over to St. Croix and stuff like that when we were supposed to get the gig, and for some reason we were unable to do it. I passed the gig to them. That's a form of collab.
Right.
That's
Okay.
a form of coming together.
Right.
That's a form of cooperating.
Yeah, most definitely.
Understood.
That is the kind of things that we're talking about. So no collab not just rest solely on you just gonna do a song with a man in.
Like a studio work, exactly.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes. To me,
Okay.
it goes beyond that. In my mind, yeah.
Right.
I mean, some people may watch it different and know we collab on a song and thing. It's just like unity.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe unity and we do cooperate. You check. We do support. To me,
Yes,
this
sir.
support more important than it is going to be unity. Yeah. Unity and you're not cooperating and you're not supporting. That means nothing to me. Yeah.
Like you say,
If you
your
support,
actions. Yeah.
yes. If you support,
Right. But
that's
but it
more. It's
but
just
even in
like a
even
promise
if
and delivering. You promise
right.
in one hand, but you deliver in the other hand. Which hand you prefer? Do you want to promise or do you want to deliver?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir. And what's it like working with your son now, as you bring that up? Because before we got cut earlier, you were speaking a lot about the youths and the ones that you're working with. Seen you in a
Oh,
video with Ajmal last month for Mascam,
yeah, yeah,
where I believe King Dice was hosting.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, now, I had to go and take a shot of Appleton because no,
The
halfway through, all you had me dancing and hey,
commercial.
big up the Ajmal. Yeah, he was really clean cut on the switches, man, and you all were getting into it. So what is that experience like for you now?
Well, the thing is, I waited a couple of years for that to really happen. I want to give thanks to the Most High
Hmm.
um, for blessing me with a son that in a crucial area in the music, because I work with a lot of other producers and programmers and stuff like that. So the Most High bless me now, right there, with my son
Hmm.
that can program, he can produce. He's a keyboard player, you know. He's a studio engineer. Also, he's a live engineer as well. So to me, that's just a gift, and I count my blessing,
Yes, sir.
um, for the work that he's doing, and not only with me, but now with other people that he's working with. And to be honest, I don't really jump in and interfere. If he asks me for some advice, I'll tell him, or sometimes I hear something,
Hmm.
I ask him if I can talk to him about something, but I'd already impose myself on him and tell him, oh, it's like this, do that, like that, because I'll tell you straight, there are a couple of things that the guy does, like I pray that I could do what he's doing, but no, it's not. I mean, you could say it's in the jeans or in the t-shirt or in the vest, but no,
Hmm.
I mean, he have it, I mean, I thank God for that. And working with him is like a good experience. Of course, he has his band, and I think they're in the process of rebranding and doing some stuff.
Okay, nice.
So I hear working with him. So any which way that he wants me, then he can call on me. Then I'll volunteer myself too. You know, to make the vibe work, because now if I could work with other people and develop other artists, because
Mhm.
I work with a lot of artists and bringing out a lot of artists, because I think that's the way to go.
Right.
That's the way to really make the industry thrive. I mean, names I cannot even
Positive.
remember. People have to remind me. It could be producers, it could be
Right.
musicians, it could be
Hmm.
artists herself, singers, performers. I think it's very important that you encourage, to
Right.
make the industry move,
Hmm.
to I mean, somebody talk about, see, we don't have an industry here. I mean, they may have a point to a certain extent, but I want to totally agree with them, because we have an
You think that
industry that need to be organized. You
Right.
know, we need to organize, and one of the ways that we can really organize is to cooperate and support. Because a lot of us there, but we don't support. I see it so many, and I don't want to overemphasize on that, but no, we need to support one another, man. We
Of
definitely
course.
need to support one another.
Right.
Talking as Dominicans on a
Yeah,
whole,
yeah,
as
yeah, yeah,
Caribbean
yeah.
people on a whole,
Is this happening? To
black man
see
on a whole.
this kind of make me angry, But again,
Right.
no, you have to get a hold of your emotions and stuff like that to make it get the better of you, and use use reasoning and use wisdom, to keep
Right.
yourself balanced, But certain times I find, and what hurts even more, you find some people coming up with like they repackage the whole vibes and they have a brand new idea.
Hmm.
The same thing you've been talking about for the longest while here. So when I watch that, I just sometimes they shake my head.
Right.
What it does have, I'm shaking my head on what it is. Let me see.
SMH.
Hello,
SMH.
shaking my
Yeah.
head. I don't know.
Well,
I
well,
don't know
chicken
what
my
Okay,
God.
yeah.
So,
not my
Mecca,
fault.
Mecca, do you have
Not
Uh,
my
anything
fault.
from
I can
Facebook?
just express. I can only be me.
Um,
Yeah.
no, there's no questions, but I have one of my own. So, what is your favorite, you could say, performance that you ever was part of in
Favorite
your
Dissect.
entire
You can
career?
you can say dissect, because you're live right now.
Yeah, that is one of my favorites, but I mean, I have so many favorites.
Right.
I would think one I remember it was in London. I remember that one in London. I think I tell some people about that. I mean, when
Yeah.
we went to London and stuff like that, and I was already too impressed going to England because they say, "Oh, England have a set of mad people and stuff like that." I was already impressed with going to England, and finally we go there, because we're going to the States all the time, but we haven't gone to England yet. So
Right.
when we went
Okay.
to England and stuff like that, when we land and sing, I start to see the vibe. I see, but whoa,
What year is this? Without cutting it.
it's somewhere about 91.
Okay.
Is that here? Somewhere around there.
Would that
Or,
be around the follow the lead album?
or wrong somewhere around that time.
So yeah,
Okay.
1991 around there. Yeah.
Around that time.
Right.
Okay, so not too badly off there. So
Right.
somewhere around there. And when we went there and stuff like that, and we played in a club called Shinolas. But
Mhm.
there's a type of club that they cut it in sections. So when they cut the first section, that full. So now they go and they decide, boy, that sell out. So the guy asks for extension. They extend the hall, man, to the other section.
Right.
Then to the third section. Full out. And people come from, I mean, it have London Central, right? People
Right.
come from Leeds and Preston and all them side
They're
there,
coming from the
So,
suburbs.
yes,
Mhm.
man, they come from
Okay.
far.
Mhm.
And people outside there making noise because they can't get in.
Right.
Because the place so low. I'd be like, and all the time we performing is like after the show, they're telling us, boy, that's what happened there. Because we ourselves, we hot in the moment there now, we're not checking what going on there, we element and
Yeah.
let him go as all shots that we have, all our arsenal, letting it go.
Mm.
It's after the guy, Maymont, what's his name? Maymont Matthew,
Right.
it's a good guy. He's here right now, he's in Dominica right now.
Okay.
Mhm.
And when he told us, what went on and stuff like that, I'd be like, wow. So that was one. Two, another one was when we went to New York and we performed for Labor Day.
Hmm.
Of course, not forgetting the Apollo Theater when we perform in the Apollo. So
Right.
that was nice too.
Nice.
We get nominated for some kind of award and thing like that. We was more excited in playing the Apollo.
Right.
The Apollo.
They're getting the
Anyway,
award.
we went to that gig, with Aswad. Aswad is one of my favorite groups, because
Right.
I love reggae. I kind of a reggae kind of a fella. I love reggae, roots rock reggae, double reggae, rockers. You just name it.
Right.
Love it. And I went to see Aswad, because Aswad to me is the king of dub, kings of dub. So we went to that show, it was my brother in New York, that's Lionel Leslie, Lion.
Right.
On our way from Queens, we end up meeting Smokey, going to the same show. Smokey was coming from a different direction. All of us was from Queens, coming from Queens,
But
But
the
I was coming
different
from
places.
Jamaica area, but he was coming from Corona.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
we end up meeting in that same car. So we're like, yeah, we're going to go to the Aswad show, man. Okay, fine. We reached there, somewhere on 34th Street. And when we went there, when I see, we enter there, I find the crowd. Okay, it's all right.
Yes.
And crowd start to build, and so. But after I see, but wait a while now, I have Aswad up there, big, big, big. But to me, the crowd that we had was maybe about 4, 5 times that amount.
Wow.
So that means we big.
Me, yeah. Bigger than as
You
well.
know, I say we big
Oh
because
man.
Right.
if we could cop that. And the other thing is that a time I was walking on 44th Street and I went to a Wheeze. That time they still had Wheeze, Yeah,
Okay.
everybody needs a
Yes.
Wheeze. So
Everybody beats
I go
Dweez.
inside Wheeze. I meet a yard man, Jamaican. Me know you. Me know the band. Double. I say, but wait a while.
Right.
Oh, so that all in the Jamaican community, man.
Yes,
And next
sir.
time I on
Nice.
scenes walking and I meet a guy, I go in a Foot Locker or whatever it was. One of them shoe there looking for sneaker, which sneaker not really my favorite, but I just say, sneaker is the latest. Let me put a sneaker.
Try your
I
thing.
buy a sneaker.
Yeah.
Man, I know you. I see where you from. Guyana, man, me from. I really swear that Guyana. Okay, so we big all that side. So then I
Right.
realized, how far we were reaching and stuff like that.
Right.
So I see now that instant in London
Mhm.
and in
Apollo,
New York,
New
that
York.
really make me see that that we big, and that really stand with it stay on my mind,
Right.
knowing how big we are. I mean, it had other instances, but these two kind of stand out.
Right.
Let you know that your music has traveled, or it is traveling. It's making an
Oh yes,
impact.
oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. And the thing is now is the originality of the music. You know what I mean?
Right. Of course.
The authenticity of the music, the vibe of the music. That's what that really catch people. Because other
Right.
people doing their softener, but no, it's the kind of accent that we put in the rhythm.
Mhm.
It kind of catch people, and that is what I know makes you a real musician. Not going and play ABC like everybody ABC, because a is a C is a C, and a D is a D.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But it's the approach, it's the way you play the rhythm, it's the
Right.
accent. You check me? That
Right.
giving you the vibe. Because reggae have a A, hip hop have a A,
Yep.
but it's not played the same way.
Right. True.
You check
True.
me? The approach.
That is
You
true.
check me? The I call it now the application. You
Mhm.
check is different, So as I said, I love the vibe because I love the originality. I love original. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. Well,
So
Ra, we have to thank you for sticking with us till 8:30.
are we leaving now, Navi? Well, we was just getting started.
I know we're just getting
For
started, and
sure.
everybody always want more, right? Um,
Mhm.
but
We wanted the cake, not just the icing. So we continue.
don't get Ra started with that cake and icing thing. Don't
Single
so, yeah, it's 8:30. Unless you have any more questions that you would like to ask Ra, then we could go ahead and do that.
No, it's been a pleasure. Thank you on behalf of myself, TDN, and all the fans watching who can agree. Thank you for getting the internet correction correct. Blessings for that. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, I must apologize to everyone watching. I really was really feeling bad that whatever happened
Right.
at the time. But no, as a man, I don't give up like that. I had my son
Yeah.
working. Of course, we have to give it kudos to Ajmal for
Oh yes.
working and making sure that happen. Is my technical guy online there. So myself, I figure I have to get to my ABC online because COVID and the whole story.
Yeah.
COVID, as I tell people, is not just wash your hand, sanitize your hand,
Right.
and wear a mask and all that. The real thing about COVID is the reset. That is what COVID is. It's the reset.
Hmm.
People may say yes or no or whatever, and take your
Right.
injection. And so by the time you finish, you look like a greater. Take your injection.
Yes, sir.
The second wave, the
Oh
third
man.
wave. By the time you finish, you'll be like, if you want to go to Trinidad to wave your flag, you know, and Carnival. Some people talking about, you know, get injected to get for you to have a good Carnival.
Yes, sir.
I really don't know, you know, if that will really help, because now, even though you take an injection,
Yes, sir.
you can still get it. You
Right.
can still pass it on.
Mhm.
You have to wear your mask. You have to sanitize. You have to take your booster. You have to be ready for the new wave, and it always have another wave.
Yeah.
So I
So
think
please
we
have
are
a little
recurring decimal there. But the real thing that happening there now is the way
Oh,
everything has
man.
been done.
Right.
Yes, sir.
The way you're going to bank, the
Yep.
way you're going to be watching anything, performance,
Mhm.
entertainment,
Mhm.
may it be basketball, football,
Right.
cricket, Nepal video, the whole thing going to change. Shopping going to change, because long they fixing up that thing about shopping online and all
Has
that.
has already
Yeah,
started
it has
changing,
already
right?
started. Mhm.
Right. So that shopping online.
We don't go to the grocery store no more. It come to us.
Right. Exactly. I mean, so I think is the way you travel, you know, and all
Yeah.
that, you know. So
Yeah.
that is why it is. So
Man stop
it's
getting
a good
fig.
thing that going on there. So now COVID isn't gonna be there for a while. COVID
Yeah,
is
of
gonna go
course.
away, because COVID is the new change, is the new
Right.
what they call it, the
So,
new norm. What they calling it? The new
The new norm.
so I
Yeah.
was
the new
going
norm.
The new
I was
norm.
going to say we're going to stop getting fig in foreign and start getting green banana. That's what we're going to start getting.
Oh, we're
Well, I
getting that
don't
already.
know what's happening there. I mean the whole thing gonna change. So no, so really and truly, we have to see how it goes, because I mean, I think they say they want to have carnival, but they want to have
Right.
carnival in a bubble. If you're not vaccinated, you can't come to carnival.
Is this
And
for 2022?
they want to put it yes. They want to put it a certain place. You have to you have your vaccinated passport for you to pass. But no, I really don't know how that's gonna really work, because
Right.
and for tourists, for when tourists pass in. But as you know, Carnival in the I mean, I don't know if international people watching, but no, Carnival in the is really we.
Mm-hmm.
It's we, you know, doing Carnival.
Right.
Okay? And as I was saying on a previous show, that, you know, the Carnival vibes change, meaning that Monday go on Tuesday, Tuesday go on Monday.
Right.
You know, the Juve we used to have on Monday as usual. Costume coming out on Monday. That's
Right.
what will happen. Tuesday now, then you have gangs. When we say gangs, we don't mean gangs.
T-shirt bands.
T-shirt band.
Right.
Fellas coming out with their different outfits. We had things like chandels, we had fantastics, we had the Archies, we had you just name it. All them different gangs would come out and show their outfit. That means outfits like dress style, you know, in style and stuff like that. Not feather and thing. The feather was on Monday. Then Tuesday, all like them kind of thing falling canal. We forget about that, right? But right now they change it now. They put all the climax on the Monday, and the beginning on the Tuesday. So I think to myself, that is a cautioning, if you ask me.
Right.
Okay? I think our carnival should go back to the original carnival
Of
vibe,
course.
because that's what people love, the
Of course.
originality. You come and want to copy people and put in costume thing and talking about the stories. It's feather and brazier and thing and liquor, you know. That is why
Let it you on dissect first.
yeah, you know, so the dissecting.
We still dissecting, you know.
That's the vibe. Whereas we, you know, we had before, we had the Blackies, we had the guys the Suswell Suwi and all them kind of thing. All them thing there's kind of loose. And we're talking about the most traditional or whatever carnival. That's what they're advertising it as. But to me, that come like false advertising, because
you don't get a
different kind of a thing. You're bringing Brazil kind of a style first, and Trinidad kind of a thing, because Trinidad copied that from Brazil, right? And you're bringing that first. But that's not our thing. Our thing is our original kind of a thing there, you know what I mean? Before Keys and on people would know Suswell Suwi and all them kind of a thing there. And I mean, no, as we're talking about culture, that's what we're losing.
So maybe they feeling like our culture is probably not marketable.
which is
Well,
Which
if you're
which
talking about the
which
most
is
unique carnival,
economics
yeah,
101,
but
right?
guys, these are the most unique carnival now, and now you're taking all the uniqueness in it to do what?
yeah, to water it down.
We have to understand what we're really doing.
Right.
You know,
True.
Maybe they're just
right
trying to
now,
take over it.
what's that?
Maybe they're just trying to take over it,
Yeah, but no,
but they're failing at it.
you cannot have people that was watching carnival on their veranda. No, these the one organizing carnival for us.
Right.
You know,
True.
Right.
I guess they smart.
Mm-hmm.
They study a lot of books. They know a lot of things. They know how to do accounts. They know all them kind of a thing. And basically that's it.
But
Like you
that,
But
say,
the
you're stripping
carnival
the
lovers
culture.
herself that know about carnival, they're
right.
taking them out
Of
of the
course.
equation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
They're
sir.
taking them out
Mm-hmm.
of the equation now, and they putting fellas that never run carnival.
Right.
They mother them in their pram and all kind of a thing. They're strolling around there.
If
They never really play carnival. So it's kind of a tough.
right.
Right.
It's really kind of a tough. So no, these are the kind of people that organizing carnival for us now. So no, we kind of losing ourselves. We
Right.
losing our
Right.
culture. We losing ourselves.
Yeah, and
We need
that's a
people now. We need people that can really reinstate and to maintain,
yeah.
our
Right.
culture. We need them
Mm-hmm.
people in place.
Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, when you have a when you're part of something, you have more experience than just watching it. But I guess that's just how the workforce works, right? People is the people that have the money and figure, "Oh, I can do that." They're the one running it. It's like we have somebody that's running a big program in Dominica right now, and he tell me he's still acting. I'm like, why you still acting? Like, I saw what you did. What you did was big. It's the biggest thing
Well,
I ever seen from Dominica, and you're still acting
well,
officer.
the thing
So,
is, as you know, Dominica have a lot of actors. They acting.
Wow.
Sometimes they die acting. You
hmm.
know,
Yes, sir.
acting as this, acting as that, and stuff like that. I think we lacking in respecting people and
Right,
appreciating people.
right. Hmm.
I mean, they like to me, they like to worship the dead, meaning that when you're alive, they want to come and bring a little food for you or nothing like that. But when you're
True.
dead, they're busy to bring things for happy hour. So
Yes.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
know, the celebration is because you're gone or because you was they celebrating your life. But if they
Right.
celebrate in your life while you're living, they're supposed to be celebrating your life.
Facts.
You check,
Mhm.
celebrating
Yes,
the
sir.
things that you do and encouraging. Because look at a man like Chubby.
Hmm.
Chubby is still strong and stuff like that and moving
Yep.
around and stuff like that. I don't find they giving Chubby any
Not
recognition.
at all.
I don't think they're showing him any respect. I don't
Not
think
at
they're
all.
showing him any love. You check
Hmm.
me? And
Hmm.
and when you go now, you'll hear everybody crying, "Oh, he was so much of a nice guy. He did
Right.
this and he did that, and
Right.
lo lo lo,
Yeah.
la la la." I tell him already, don't bring flour for me when I did. Give
Hmm.
me my flour so I can make bakes, I can make cakes, I can make
Facts.
different things with my flour.
Yes.
Facts.
You understand?
Yes.
Yeah,
Ye-
because I don't flour next thing they just I really not interested in flour. Maybe it's spelling different, but flour is flour, Catman.
Right. You
So
Right.
know, I have to give you props on because you well, not just because you said Chobi, but Chobi is one person that don't get a lot of respect. But there's many more. Um, I've done a lot of interviews. I have not interviewed that person myself, but you the only person I think I've spoke to and mentioned Skinny. And to me, Skinny Banton, aka Shadow Flow, he holds a big stature in the Booyah game. He did the dub thing. So, you know, big up to you on that for actually, giving those guys their flowers. People like Chobi and Skinny and all these guys. So, you know,
we haven't even talked about Sky, because Sky was part of RAH Riddim. We brought in
right,
Sky.
exactly,
We
right?
brought in Sky now to, because when I see now Skinny was already with
CK.
already doing things with CK. I
Hmm.
see, well, Sky is a man around and in the same vibe,
Right,
why not bring him on,
right.
why not bring him on, because now we need more people like that in a vibe to keep it
Hmm.
rolling.
Right,
And of course you have to give it to a man like Skinny for being one of the first man now to really come out with that vibe. So
right.
you
Mhm.
have to give Jackie's jacket.
Of course,
Yeah,
Yes,
you
sir.
of
definitely
course.
have to do that. And of
Yes, sir.
course to the different groups, that help,
Yes, yes,
propel the vibes.
of course.
You cannot keep them man out of the conversation. I mean, even bands like Serenade, they play their part too.
Right.
You know, RSB played their part too. Rough and Ready played their part too. You
Right.
check. So, you know, you
All-
cannot
all-
have the Buyo conversation and leave them
all
alone.
these people you will see on Dissect too, the names that you've mentioned. So
Yeah, most
know.
definitely, because now that's why we need people like you and thinkers like you that could see the vibe and have the conversation,
right.
you know, and make them bring out it, because you know you can't bury those people, man, after they make that kind of a contribution. For instance,
After all.
Eric Badwill, you know.
Yes.
Eric did, you know, some good stuff too. You know,
That's a
together with
man that's
Solid,
hard
you
to
know.
find.
Yeah, so the way it is, you know, you cannot keep them out of the conversation. I think it would be a bit unfair, you know,
Yeah, most
and
definitely.
selfish, you know,
Right, of course.
not
Of course.
to, you know, because the bouillon, the idea of the bouillon is a big pot, and it have enough for everybody. You watching the time?
No. I watching the comment. I watching a comment from Glenda actually that pop up on the screen.
It's a big pot, right? But
Right.
the idea of the bouillon, right? You alone can eat a big pot of bouillon with a teaspoon.
Right. Right.
It's
Right.
supposed to be you take a plate that can feed yourself.
Yeah, everybody can get their
overflow
bowl
yourself,
from
you
one.
know, satisfying.
Right.
Then you have enough to share.
Right.
Everybody
sir.
can get a plate.
Yes, sir.
Why is the sense of you alone trying to take all the meat, or you're trying to take all the dumb way, or you're trying to take all the fig, or you're trying to take everything, or just take the whole sauce?
Right.
You can't do that. You
Yep.
know, everybody's supposed to get a fair share, you know, and be satisfied, because no,
course.
it's there to nourish, it's there to uplift, and that is part of the concept of bouillon. You know, so bouillon is not just like it's just bouillon. No, it's more than that.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
sir.
a way of
To
life.
share, is to give love. You know, is a food. You know,
Right.
because you know the bouillon in itself is a food, the physical bouillon.
Right, yeah.
That the cooking bouillon. But no, the other cooking is a food for the brain. The music.
Yeah, music
Right.
It's a
just to
food for the
make
brain.
you
You
feel
know,
good,
because
right?
music is brain food,
Yeah.
isn't it? Right.
Right.
It fixes up your mood. It strengthens you. It inspires you. It could break you down. It could, you know, it could play with your emotions. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's
Yes,
why
sir.
now we ourselves have to be positive and give some positive lyrics. You know, because you have to give lyrics that will, you know, how you see, stand the test of time.
Right. Yes.
You
Yes.
check me?
Sure.
Yes.
Whenever we
Sure.
play,
Yeah.
you know, because when I write, I think of man like Bob. You check? I think of man like Bonnie Wheeler. I think of man like Gosh. Dennis Brown. You check? Sorry,
Right.
I didn't make mention of them guys like that, but no.
No, that's okay.
You know, it have certain guys that I think of. Fella Ransom Kunti.
Right.
You know, it have quite a few of them that I listen, you know, because I listen to a wide variety of music, you know,
Right.
from youth,
Nice.
from Santana to Tito Puente to Malo to Osibesa to Olatunji. Not the old notice Olatunji are there.
No.
Olatunji from Africa.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And,
Well, that tune there, yes, sir.
yes, you know, then we could talk about the Motown songs and stuff like that, you know. So I feel
Right.
myself prefer
Yeah.
a lot of that, you know, because music is music. You check?
Yes, sir.
Music is music, and you know, once the music is good and sends a positive message, that's what we want, you know, because the
Right.
music already in Bouillon is good, you know. It's
Yes,
just
sir.
the lyrical content, you know, and I could say that, you know, it's improving, because I hear one, two thing there, you know, I just pass on the radio because I don't listen to the radio that much, to be honest, confess.
Right.
I listen now and then, and I happen to hear something, you know, that some guy, you know, release and stuff like that, and you could see the lyrical a little more structured, you know, they have a little more nice storyline, you know. So
Right.
big up to the youths and them that understand that kind of a vibe, and you know, they will come in because now Bouillon, we haven't seen the full potential of Bouillon. You know, just the tip of the iceberg, and I could see Bouillon moving from strength to strength. And
Right.
somebody saying, you know, Bouillon this or Bouillon that. But Bouillon moving from strength to strength, because now, as they say, the young ones are born before the old ones die. So, you know,
Yes.
we're moving from strength to strength, and that's what I really wanted to see. And if you ask me, that is one of my greatest achievements, to see the youths and them embracing it. Even though
Right.
some people are turned their back on Bouillon, some people are quote unquote and be creator or whatever, they turn their back.
Right.
I never decided to turn my back. because I couldn't have my babies and turn my back on them. And after my what? You have your babies, you look about them, make sure they grow up properly, and you nurture them and you educate them.
Right.
You know, proper education, with wisdom, you know, and balance, equilibrium, them kind of a thing there, you know.
Right.
You know, that kind of a vibe there. Positive reasoning, you know, to raise them up properly, because now that's what we need. That's the conversation we're supposed to have.
Right.
And to organize the scene. Because, you know, so I'll be very happy that a man like you, you know, and Imon, of course, and my sister down there, right, are there working and encouraging and pushing the vibes, because that's what we need. I've been crying for the longest while for that. I've been crying, and what I could see there basically is like homegrown, you know. It's from the and them out of the mouth of babes and sucklings, you know. You check me, out of the mouth of babes and sucklings, you know, because they're coming up with the vibe, you know, and I have a lot to praise you for, you know. And I think that, you know, when you learn something, it's not for you personally.
Truth.
When you learn something, you hold it to pass it on. You know, and
enrich others.
Make a better version of yourself, and encourage people them to make a better version of themselves. So we all rise.
Yep.
As a family, as a nation, as a race, the human race. But first of all, we have to think of, you know, charity begins at home. So that's what it is. You know? So basically, that's how we do it. You know, we have to rise up, you know. So we just want to strengthen one another and support, you know, because my word there for tonight there is support. You know, we don't want to be just talking both sides of our mouth and whistling along the middle. You know, we want to really
put some action in.
Give in, man.
Yeah.
Because I tell you already, action expensive but talk cheap. You know,
so
we really need to put in the action. You know, as I tell you already, I don't listen to what people say. I watch what they do. You know, because a man can tell you, oh, this and that, and you have a pie in the sky and water from the moon, but we really want to see it in works. You know, we really want to see it in works. You want to see it in manifestation. You know, that's the thing that we want. You know, and as I say, support is the word. You know, support, and we win real support. You know, that's what we need. We need that vibe
properly.
Yeah, from RAH himself. Support the Booyah vibes. That means support Dissect, support TDN, support Islands Therapy, Booyah Kitchen, everything, even sports. All that is part of the Booyah. It's way of life. It's not just music. It's what we eat. It's everything. It's us, right? So, RAH, on that half, thank you for joining us, sir. And in the future, I hope we could do this again. And again, thank you for sticking out with us. You know what happened in the first half, and we apologize to all the viewers, and I hope you guys were satisfied tonight. Another episode of Dissect, and
I know a lot of y'all came back too, so thank you.
That's right.
And all this talk about bouillon is making me hungry.
So until next week, guys, we'll see you right back here on Dissect. Thank you, Nika. Thank you, Iman. Thank you to our special guest, the man, Derrick RAH Peters himself.
Well, thanks for having me here. And you know, have a blessed night, you know. I know some people put some funny comments there, but, you know, all that is part of the game, you know. Life is like that, you know. All sort of people make the world, you know. So, you know, that's how it is. You know, we also want to thank for whoever listening and stuff like that. I hope it give them some form of knowledge and some positive vibe, you know.
Right. Did you want the funny comments? I see one. Did you want to address it or leave that alone?
It just asking if the milk sweet more, deal.
Oh, Maggie know the milk sweet already, man. Maggie know the milk sweet, you know that. You should ask Maurice if the milk sweet too.
I think he did, you know, and I must have missed it, or we must have missed it. So
So that's codes. That's codes inside there. That's codes.
Well, don't worry. When Maggie come, I'll ask him if the milk sweet.
Ask him if the milk sweet and tell me why the milk so sweet and who's sweet the milk.
All right. So on behalf of TDN Islands Therapy, thank you, Sam, our producer. Naiji, thank you. And we will see you guys next week when we talk to the First Serenade Band. Have a blessed week, blessed weekend. God bless.